Hey guys, it's Alicia and I'm here with my first process video. So I'm just showing you some papers and product that I'm going to use. Most of it is Studio Calico Print Shop. Here I'm just trimming up some photos. These are printed out and they're 3x3 size and they're just from my home computer. It's an Epson, or my home printer. It's an Epson. So I'm just, tongue-tied. I'm just trimming those out right now. I wasn't sure which way I wanted this to go for sure. I knew I wanted it to be a grid, and I knew I wanted to use pinks and yellows and the black and white. So I'm just pulling out some papers here, seeing which ones I might like. I don't know if I'm going to do some layering or what yet. So I really like the papers that I pulled out, so I'm going to start matting. I put this one on this pink script, and I'm going to grab the pink part of this 12 by 12. I really like that paper. I'm going to use that, and I'm not sure what I was doing over there. Now I'm going to use this ampersand paper. I really like that paper a lot. And think about using this yellow with the stars, but I decide against it, and I'm going to look for a different paper that has more pinks in it. And I come across this flowery print, and I find a part that I can cut out that doesn't have any blue in it, so I use that. And I'm going to cut off two, they're about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch strips of this print, and just to ground the layout. And I'm going to set one at the top and one at the bottom. Now I'm thinking about some layering, and then I decide not to. So I'm just going to mess with these pictures a bit and see how I like them, and I decide to do like a grid in the bottom right corner there. Now I just grab my smaller stencils and I'm just looking through them to see what I wanted to use, and I decide on that Dilutions by Diane Reevely stencil. I thought the pattern went well with this line. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to grab a couple paints. I'm going to grab a black folk art metallic paint and a distress paint in Picket Fence. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want the stencil, but first I'm going to glue these pictures down so I don't have too many little pieces flying around everywhere. Yes, I'm going to put them there. So now I'm just going to use some of this black paint. I'm going to put it on this paper plate and put it on this makeup sponge. I'm trying not to get too much on the sponge so it doesn't, seep underneath the stencil while I'm doing this, but so I'm just stenciling, and I must say I do like how this turned out, how it's kind of darker in some spots and lighter in some spots. So I'm gonna have a mishap in a second when I try to use the Picket Fence, I'm sorry, the Picked Raspberry. But for now, I think I'm going to dry this paint first. That is a Tim Holtz stencil. It's called Bubbles, and I love it. He has some really nice stencils out. So, checking my placement, and I'm going to try to use some of this photo paper because there's the mishap. Exploded everywhere. You'll have to excuse that string hanging down. That's like the cord on my camera, the wrist cord. And I didn't realize it was hanging down till later. This is my first time filming one of these type of videos, so you'll have to excuse my mistakes and grow with me a bit. So yes, that paint exploded everywhere, on my shirt, everything, so I had to change and put that shirt in the washer really quick to try to get that bright pink paint out of it. Digging on my background a bit there, but I am going to cover that up in a minute. So that must be what I'm doing here. And I'm back. Okay, I said hi. Because I was actually gone for a while. So, yeah, there's paint everywhere, still trying to clean everything up. Thank goodness it didn't get all over anything else. And then I smartened up and decided, maybe I should put my craft sheet down. Should have done that from the beginning. But anyways, so now I have loads of paint on this sponge, and I'm just gonna start stenciling. And the um, the the blending foam works really well with paint, and you can wash it out with soap and water, and use them again with your distress inks or whatever you like. So, I believe I'm done stenciling right there. I don't know what I was just doing. Okay, wiping that paint bottle off. Oh yes, now I'm gonna go back and fix this. So basically, I'm just edging those two corners with some of the paint. And you can't even tell you spilled paint all over it. That wasn't part of the plan, but I like how it came out. It kind of puts a frame over there, so adds a little something. So that's one of those, mistakes that turned out to be alright, I guess. So now I'm kind of feeling like the pictures are getting lost a bit in the background. So I decide to grab just some black cardstock, and I'm figure out how wide I want it, and then I'm just cutting strips off of it. They're just random widths of strips. My idea here is to place them under the photo so that the photos kind of have something more to sit on besides that crazy stenciling. So yes, I'm liking that a little bit better. Just seeing, I like it, and I do like it. So now I'm going to mist a bit with Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Mustard. Bring in a little bit of that yellow. Dry it up with my heat gun, and I think I'm going to dab it off too. So now I'm going to lay those two strips at the top and the bottom. Excuse the little hands popping in and out. Those are my daughters. And now I'm going to use some Scotch Quick Dry Glue to lay these strips down. And it's just random. They're not in the place, the order that I put them when I was, after I first cut them. It's just purely random. I wasn't too finicky about this part. So I really just wanted something for the photos to sit on so they weren't getting so lost between the pattern paper they were sitting on and that background. So I'm just going to cut off the excess here. And see how I like it. And yeah, so this is some washi I have, and it's black, and it's almost on like a fabricy, burlappy type background. I mean, it's not on fabric, but that's what the background looks like. And then it says love with hearts in between it. So I really like that washi. So now I decided to pop these photos up. So I'm just using some foam tape to do that, but I'm not going to stick them down right away. I'm not ready to commit yet. So now I'm going to, I'm going to ink the edges in black soot. I thought about outlining, but this was just a little bit quicker, and I was kind of feeling a little lazy, so this is what I decided to do. And it helps. It definitely does. It gives it the edge of definition. So I'm just handing some scissors to my daughter. Okay, these are some print shop embellishments, die cuts that I have, and most of them are vellum. And then these words are acetate. And that's just a black tray that I put them in so I can look through them. But basically, I'm just looking for pieces that match the color scheme. And I actually don't have that many left from that pack that match. So I'm going to use that Life Acetate piece up there, and that pink heart, and that orangish, yellowish circle, journaling spot. That's what I'm going to use it for down there. Then I took out the sticker sheet for Print Shop, and I'm going to use the smile sticker that I pulled out. And I grabbed some wax paper and I'm spelling out celebrating because the title, I wanted the title to be Celebrating Life because it was my fiance's birthday. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I'm just I'm just spelling celebrating out to see on some wax paper to see so I can move it around a bit, and then I wrote it out to make sure I spelled it right because it looked a little weird to me. I put it up there, and actually the color of the stickers and the color of the paint are very different, so I don't end up using that font, but I do like those letter stickers. Now I'm to my thicker box because I realized that the color of the word celebrating is a little redder than the rest of the page. So I come back with these stickers. I believe they're in the doll font and they're black and glittery, and I decide to use those instead. So I'm just spelling it out on another piece of wax paper so I can make sure I like it before I commit. And I do like that a lot better. I think it just gives it a more unified look for the title, and then the hearts kind of bring the pink in up there. So I do like that a lot better. So I'm just going to fiddle around for a bit, and I'm pulling out different embellishments. These are Glitz Wild and Free, and I wanted to use this pink feather and this card that says All You Need Is Love. But I don't end up using that card. I just couldn't make it work because I couldn't make this circle thing work anywhere else, and I knew I wanted to journal on that. So I'm just fiddling around with what I want to do here. That other little hand is my other daughter, my younger daughter, Olivia. So these are some Amy Tangerine bows, and I'm gonna clip off that yellow one and end up using it. I thought about using some of these sketchbook fabric stickers, but I don't. And then I thought about using some of these, and I don't. And then I came across my Heidi Swapp like epoxy type stickers, and I end up using this arrow that says "Love This," and I'm actually going to use it down there on that vellum piece as a guide as to how far my journaling can go before it would go under the picture. So now I'm going to lay my title down, and I'm putting the very top of it overlapping that top strip and the she's saying hi, and the background here because it kind of grounds it a bit. So that is up there. And now I'm just going to use my tiny attacher to put this life acetate piece in place, and I'm using these hearts. So I just used some Scotch quick dry glue to glue those down, and now I'm going to commit to my picture placement, and I'm really not being very finicky with this part. I want it to look a little, perfectly imperfect. So I'm just gluing that feather down and this resin bow. I don't know. I thought maybe I should put it crooked, and I thought no. Then I glued that sticker down up there, and now I'm going to do some journaling. I'm looking for my gray slick writer. Will I ever find it? Aha, I found it. And now I'm just trimming off the little knobbies that come around die cut sometimes. And I'm just journaling about our dinner and where we went and why we went. So put the year down. And then I thought about using my vellum tape adhesive, and then I decided to just use my tiny attacher. It kind of flowed since I had some staples on top. And that, I believe, is it. So these are some really quick close-ups. Thanks for bearing with me during my first process video. Hopefully they'll get better. And I hope you